Hello everyone, welcome to She Anoints with Love. I'm Jessica. This is a collective reading for anyone needing clarity and direction this week on the blessings in your life. Sometimes, we just need a little reminder that the blessing is already there. We just need eyes to see it. So when we have so many responsibilities pulling at us from every direction, it could easily be overlooked. So I want you to be mindful that this is not a religious platform. This is a spiritual one. So please take what resonates, leave what doesn't, pass it on to someone who may need it more than you do right now. And also, this reading is not gender focused. We all carry feminine and masculine energy within us. So this week we're asking Spirit, what blessing are you overlooking right now? And what do you need to do to receive it? Let's see what Spirit has for you this week. Let's get into it. We're going to be using Wisdom of the Oracle. What blessing are you overlooking right now? Spirit, what blessing is my collective overlooking right now? Thank you, Spirit. Before we get into the reading, I want to apologize beforehand for any background noise you may hear. Sometimes these things are just out of our control, and I appreciate your understanding. So let's get into it. The first card we have is regeneration. And this is not a small blessing. This is a huge blessing because this is a rebirth. And this rebirth is already happening in your life. Sometimes we think we're stuck. Sometimes we think we lost something. Sometimes, maybe a relationship didn't work out. A job. A situation that we thought that we had under control. It didn't work out. But what we can't see is what's already growing in its place. The phoenix that's rising out of the ashes. When you plant something, you don't go back and dig it up to see if it's growing, because it'll stop the process. You just plant it and you believe. So things behind the scenes are working out on your behalf and you don't even know it. That's the blessing. This regeneration, this loss that you thought you had, wasn't actually a loss. This reminds me of the story of Thomas Edison when he told his son after the big fire in the factory that they lost everything. He said, this is not a loss. All our mistakes were burned. Now we could start new. And a year later, he made more than he ever made, $10 million. And his friends helped him as well. And he didn't even need to fire any employees. So sometimes we think we had a loss, but it was no loss. It was experience that we were gaining. Things didn't work out the way we thought it was going to, but something else is growing in its place, and something even better. So don't think that just because the process isn't going as smoothly as you'd like it to go. That job didn't work out. That relationship ended. Things that we can't really see too clear right now. It's still growing. The divine is working behind the scenes. And what Spirit is saying to you this week is the transformation is your gift. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're being reborn for something better. And it's saying go by the book. There's no shortcuts to this. You're not behind. We can't compare ourselves to someone else's progress. Sometimes we think, oh, you know, that person is so conniving, trifling. Why everything goes well for that person? And look at me, I'm trying to do things by the book. I'm trying to do the right thing, go by the right way. And, you know, everything just falls on me. Everything always happens to me. We can't fight the process. There's a divine order to it. So as long as we understand universal laws, because they're working for us behind the scenes, they're already working on our behalf. So we need to release the resistance. Like, we got to get up out of our own way sometimes. Because what's meant for you is meant for you. Ain't nobody going to take it away from you. What's meant for you will come through in divine timing. So this regeneration is going to lead us to something even better. Because sometimes our thoughts ain't the divine's thoughts. You know, sometimes we think we know it, or we think we got everything figured out, and something happens, an accident, God forbid, you know, things beyond our control that we can't control. But that's just part of the process, and we don't even know it. That's just part of the process. So the fates, this was always meant for you. What feels like a detour sometimes, like a slow process, it's meant for you. It's not a detour, it's your destiny. You didn't miss nothing. You can't miss what was already written for you in the stars. Think about a time you wanted something. You thought you wanted that, but you got something better. Accept what you can't change. And trust that Spirit already has what's meant for you. He has everything mapped out. Even when you can't see it. Even when you can't see it. Sometimes we carry so much, and we stop believing in good things. You know, like we got used to surviving all the time. And we forgot what it feels like to receive. So the blessing is the regeneration. Because there's a new version of you arising out of everything you've been through. And we got to stop trying to control how it arrives. We got to go with the flow. We got to trust the timing. We got to release the grip. Because it was no mistake. We weren't stuck. Because when we see a door that's closed, when we see a hard season, when we go through it, that's part of the plan that we can't see. That's part of the blessing. That's not a loss. Your only job is to open your eyes so that you could receive it this week. That's the job. Open your eyes and release what you cannot control. Release what you can't control. Let's get some Tarot cards. What does the collective need to do to recognize and feel their blessings this week? Spirit, what does my collective need to do to recognize and receive their blessings this week? I got the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups speaks directly to the heart. You know, she has this big cup with a lid on it, with a cover on it. All the other cups in the deck, they're open, but she has a lid on hers. Hers is full, and she recognizes that she's a blessing. She speaks directly from the heart, not the mind. She's not over worried with a to-do list. She has emotional presence when she walks in a room. She doesn't perform. She flows with gratitude. She moves with love. She goes through the motions, you know, in her everyday life with grace, with honesty. She's in tune with her own emotions. Before the world wakes up, she's the type that places her hand on her chest and opens up her heart in the morning, very early, before her family wakes up, and acknowledges that the divine gave her a brand new day. She's spiritual. She's not rushed all the time because she's in tune and well balanced. She stops to acknowledge when her family, her children, her grandchildren, her nieces, her nephew, her pets, when they're happy. When she drinks her coffee in the morning, she actually tastes it, you know? It's like she doesn't rush past it. She lets herself be moved in a positive way through a song, through a memory, through a sunset, through laughter that she hears in the next room. They're not just interruptions to her day. These are blessings. So this card is telling you, don't rush it. Don't rush by your blessings. Stop rushing past them. Acknowledge them. Sometimes we get so busy, right? Like, that's life. You know, it's not easy. But we forget to be soft. And so being soft is not bad. It's not a bad thing at all. Everybody, like I said in the beginning of the video, has a feminine and a positive side. I'm sorry, a feminine and a masculine side. Sometimes we just be so busy holding on to everything. But we just gotta relax a little bit. Because you can't enjoy, you know, you can't receive what you don't allow. You're not gonna be able to enjoy it. Blessings move through emotions. Joy is a blessing. Peace is a blessing. That's when you're going to feel a random wave of gratitude. Boom. That's the blessing announcing itself. But if you close yourself emotionally and you're running on empty or pouring out without ever refilling, you're going to miss it every time. So this week, the Queen of Cups is calling you to tend to your inner world. Fill your cup without feeling guilty. Receive a compliment. Receive without deflecting. Cry if it needs to cry, if you need to cry, if it needs to come out. Sit in silence and stillness, if you need to. So that you can actually hear what Spirit wants to say. Because the Queen of Cups don't chase. The Queen of Cups is so full and so present and so rooted in love, and that's the blessing. So, collective, you're being called to stop chasing and start feeling and get still enough to receive what's already moving in your direction. We got the Page of Pentacles. He's holding something in his hands. He's focused on what he has in his hands. He's studying it. He's locked in. And this is the exact posture that Spirit wants you to be in today. He wants you to focus on what you already have in your hands. What's in front of you. He wants you to recognize the roof over your head, the bills that you're able to pay, the job that you have, the food that you eat, your health, the skills that you're developing. He wants you to be grateful. Divine wants you to be grateful of the things that you already have. The Page of Pentacles is grounded. He's present. He's holding something precious. He's studying it. He's honoring it. He's fully focused on what? On what's right in front of him. He's focused on the small things because they're great blessings. We've been conditioned to wait for the dramatics, right? For the overflowing moments, that we dismiss the daily bread that the divine gives us every single morning, the breath of life. And this week, the Page of Pentacles is telling you, acknowledge the blessings that you have right in front of your face. Start counting the blessings that you already have in your life. That's how you shift your perspective. Instead of seeing what you lack, see the abundance that you have. Tend to what's in your hand. Tend to the seed that's already placed in your hand. Because every great thing, every great testimony, every overflow, every miracle is started as something as small as this pentacle. It started as something as small as a seed. And we got to be grateful for the things that we have. That's how we're going to recognize and fully embrace our blessings. Now we get to the real work. because the Three of Swords doesn't show up in a blessing reading by accident. Spirit put this here on purpose, because it's an honest truth of what is actually blocking some of us from receiving what's already ours. There's three blades in this heart. 3 blades. That's pain, that's grief. That's the kind of hurt that it doesn't just fade away. That's the kind that settles deep. That's the kind that says, don't get too excited, because every time something good comes, something takes it away. It won't last. Brace yourself, because it always happens to you. Some of you have been living under that voice for so long that y'all don't even... You don't even recognize it anymore. It's just like part of your everyday life. Just become the way that you move every day, and we don't have to live like that. We receive our blessings, we receive our answered prayers or our manifestations, and we can't fully celebrate it because we're still holding on to a wound from the last time that we were let down, from the last time that things got destroyed, that things ended, that things crumbled. We could be surrounded by genuine love, but we keep a distance. We don't let people get too close because we don't want to get hurt again. It's like we hear good news and we're waiting for the catch, you know? Like it's too good to be true. Every time something good shows up, something bad happens afterwards. Because pain, that's what pain taught you. To protect yourself, to stay numb. But that's not being wise. That's a wound that's been left untreated. And it's been left untreated for so long that it starts to just get used to the pain. That's not how we have to live. That's not how we should live. We got to look at the pain directly. Acknowledge what happened. Acknowledge how it broke something in you. And give yourself permission to really heal, to grieve it, to cry if you need to write a letter to yourself, to forgive yourself if you have to forgive yourself, to sit alone and tell yourself the truth about how you were hurt. Sometimes we're not going to be able to make amends with people from our past, or people that left us that are no longer in our lives, whether it was because they died physically or because, you know, they're just not connected to us anymore. We got to grieve that. And we got to let the old story, we got to stop the old story from narrating, you know, our new story. Because you can't feel blessed if you have 3 blades in your heart. How are you going to feel blessed like that? Healing comes from faith. Healing comes from believing that there's a choice that you could make to stop letting that pain block you from your blessings. Get into your heart with the Queen of Cups energy. Honor what you already have. Because that's the seed in your hand right now. And that's divine. And do the healing work. Because the wound is locked. And your willingness to face it, that's the key that's going to open it. Grieve it, release it, and choose to step out from under the shadow of that old pain into the light, into your fate. The blessings aren't somewhere out, down the road. No, they're already present in your life. This week, your assignment, collective, is to get open enough to feel them, to notice them, and heal enough to believe what you deserve. You deserve them. Open your heart. Honor what's here. Heal what's blocking you from receiving it. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in the something always happens. I could never catch a break. Why things always have to go hard for me? Look at it as divine intervention. Look at it as your higher self, your higher consciousness, God's source, spirit, the divine, mapping everything out for you, for your destiny, for what you deserve. But now you have to acknowledge what you have and deal with your reality. So flow in the Queen of Energy and the Queen of Cups energy and open up your heart. Recognize your blessings and heal your pain, because that's part of your destiny. That's how you're going to receive your blessings. That's how you're going to feel your blessings. That's how you're going to be able to see and enjoy the blessings that are in your hand. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care of yourself, and until next time.